All right, Battletech enthusiasts. So for this week's BT podcast, I have to say ahead of time, I looked through the Total Warfare. I've looked through the rules. I've even pushed things out to the forum and kind of poked around on there. I don't see where you are not allowed to do this. So before we get into the tactica of facing and looking to exploit the technical design flaws of certain mechs, this is what I want to push out. At the start of the game, if I ask you about your mechs, what does that Wolverine have? Okay, it's variant, whatever. It's a variant Wolverine. I don't know what it is. What does it have? Do you have to tell me? Do you have to allow me to see your Battletech record sheets on there? Now, possibly a mission might say no, if we agree ahead of time where this is like an ambush mission, meaning I don't know the units you have. A great example was a game from a while back where I was defending a city. It was just hardcore attack versus defense. We agreed on the battle value ahead of time, but not what could be purchased with that battle value. And this was Inner Sphere tech on there. So I loaded up on like a couple of tanks, but just massive amounts of infantry, like 10 to 15 stands of infantry on there, and artillery and all sorts of support tanks and hovers and everything. I took the Karnov, dropped the bays on it, put in the AC-20, got that flying through. So in that case, if it's part of a mission where you want it to be a surprise, I think you should keep it a surprise. But in most Battletech games, if I have a question what's on that mech, do you have to tell me? Now, I believe in full transparency, and this is across every gaming system. Warhammer 40,000, Chain of Command, whatever I'm playing in the moment, that keeps the game fair. That keeps it where, okay, if you lose or I'm winning, you feel like at least I'm not trying to have some deception going on there. I'm not trying to pull some sort of tricknology bait and switch. But my question is along these lines. It is worth spending your time. I won't say, some of you guys have this stuff memorized, but it's worth spending your time from a casual perspective, and I do this all the time, assuming I can remember it. Looking through the technical manuals, looking at some of the popular mechs based on the time period or the structure that you're playing, and making a note of where their ammo is located. It's in the left torso. It's in the right torso. Center torso is a little bit different. It's in the left arm. It's in the right arm. Is it on one specific side or the other on a mech? And this is why this is important. So this goes back to if we're playing the game and I don't really know that record sheet, would you allow me to look at it for a second? Now, if you say no, too bad, well, then I have to go back and hit up the books and study a little bit more. But eventually having a working proficiency, if I know a mech has on the left torso ammo, this is where facing is very, very unique in Battletech, because most of the time, we're doing our best to face directly our primary target. And I say primary because I might be advancing my Battlemaster and you have a Wolverine directly ahead of me, and to the left you've got, we were just talking about it last week, a Griffin. Griffin and a Wolverine tag teaming me. I could potentially engage both with the Battlemaster, but for the most part, I'm going to try and focus on a primary target. That is usually the mech that is facing directly ahead, because I want to have all my guns literally facing you for when we declare shooting on there. But if you're able to shift, I say that because for the most part, if I shoot, it's going to be the forward facing on the damage chart. But there are times, either through just tactics or facing, where you're hitting the left or the right side of the mech. This is going to be on a separate left or right side chart, and it's going to increase the likelihood of hitting on that side. And it makes sense because you're facing that profile of the mech. Tactically, if you recognize a mech has ammo on one extreme side, and let's say the left side, and I can shift over where I'm hitting you just on the left side, that increases the punch-through rate, especially if I'm a heavy or an assault mech that can fire multiple weapons. Think about the Grasshopper, where you're just laser. You're just chaining that all on the left side, punching through to my ammo, causing me to explode. There, it's a little thing. Yes, you still have to hit. Yes, you could miss. Yes, over the course of the game, of course, the mech's going to change facing, or you might go to work on one mech, then have to switch to another. But tactically knowing where that ammo is located and trying to line up where it's going to hit, that is vital. That is really, really important in Battletech. And as a mech warrior, that's where it's cracking open the technical manuals and trying to identify the mech and trying to understand what weapons it has, what range it operates at, and where that ammo is stored.